Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the East Ascension Consolidated Gravity Drainage District Number 1 Board of Commissioners meeting on December 9th here at the Gonzales Courthouse. First off, we're missing Mr. Arsenault, Mr. Robert, Mr. Turner. I believe that's everyone. For the invocation and pledge, Mr. Joseph, would you do us the honor?
Bless this great parish. Dear Lord, give us the power to make the right decision for this great parish. And bless all the armed forces service members who give us the freedom we have today. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, agenda item number 3, any public comments? If you do have anything of this agenda which you would like to speak on, you can go to my left and fill out a green or red card as such, and you will have 3 minutes to speak on that topic. Agenda item number 4, acceptance of November 13th, 2025 EA Drainage meeting minutes. Motion, Mr. Vornado. Second, Mr. Hillingsbeck. Any objection to that? Hearing none. Agenda item 5, Chairman's report or announcements. I have no new announcements or anything to add, so we'll move along to agenda item 6A, approval of contract renewal with GIS Engineering, LLC for the isolated pumping stations project for a term of 1 year in the amount of $400,000. Motion, Mr. Melanson. Second, Mr. Cullen. Do I have any objections or any questions? Hearing none. Item 6B, approval of the cooperative endeavor agreement between the U.S. Geological Survey, Lower Mississippi Gulf Water Science Center, and the East Ascension Consolidated Gravity Drainage District Number 1 for the operation of 15 real-time stream gauges. This agreement covers the period of January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2026 in the amount of $115,700 from the Ascension Parish Gravity Drainage District Number 1 and $33,000 from the U.S. Geological Survey for a combined total of $148,700. Motion, Mr. Lawson. Second, Mr. Vornado. Any questions on this topic? Any objection? Hearing none. Moving on to item number 7, the drainage report. I will have a presentation by Mr. Jade.
Good evening. Thank y'all for having me. So this evening I bring y'all our end of the year drainage, annual drainage report. This has, me and Hannah's worked on it diligently to get this as accurate as we could for you guys. We've pulled it from the 1st of January through the 30th of November. So it does not represent anything in December. So first off, I want to introduce a couple people in my team. These are guys you don't see very often, so you guys know me. This is operations. Mr. Davin Duplessis, he is my second. He kind of worked for me with drainage operations, pumping and vegetation. Mr. Darren Johnson, he is our new assistant director over vegetation. He joined the team earlier this year, probably mid-year. And Mr. Martin McKnight has been with us for about a year. He's been doing a fantastic job, has a very great maintenance background on diesel engines. So this was one of the choices we made for him operating pumping stations, is to understand how this stuff works so that we're always ready to pump and take care of our citizens. So great job with these guys. I can't commend them enough for how we pulled together. Some of these guys are new guys. It takes a lot to adjust to what we do. So I go straight into our completed work orders. This year we've completed 1,183 work orders in our drainage division. So I will tell you, in that 1,183, you do have closed out work orders that were associated with other work orders. So that number, I'm easily to tell you probably not knock it down 10% on realistic work. I cannot differentiate with that with this system. So I lean more to 1,000 work orders were completed this year. Gives you a small breakdown per division. What was done, your East Ascension board is more of your bigger projects, some things by administration and what y'all have approved. Waterway is strewed. We do not use this system for waterway anymore. But to remind y'all, we developed a new system this year. We have a second program where we're running into inspections. Hopefully, this is one of the plans that I had for 5 years, is where we're getting more in a maintenance mode and a reactive mode. And this report will help you understand why you want to be in maintenance, not reactive. But your waterway now, along with your culverts, are being inspected, and they're being inspected with a new system that's developed by GIS. So we're actually able to see the condition of our areas and be able to respond by condition, not by work order. So this helps us. It is a very long-term project. It's a huge parish. We've inspected 700-800 bridgeways, literally over 1,000 culvert crossings, and we rate them as we do it. We do a 1 through 4 rating. Just imagine 100% broken up, divided by 4. 1 is 25%, 2 is 50%. You start hitting over 50%, we need to start assessing that culvert for some work. So these are things we look forward in the future as tools to work. But as of right now, we have to be very reactive also. So that number is off. So I'm going to tell you, we probably have almost 2,000 inspections. That waterway inspection happens twice a year. The bridge debris happens twice a year. So I broke this down. This was a concern I talked about with Blaine and also administration. We looked at work orders year after year. You're not finishing your year out at a zero balance. It's just not possible with the growth of this parish. So this year we were able to complete 29 work orders that were back from 22, 51 from 23, 288 from 24, and out of it's going to surprise you the number we got over 1,100 work orders in 25 alone. So we completed 815 in 25. You probably did. So.
Hey, Mr. J.
Yes, sir.
Off the top of your head, would you happen to know how many open work orders we have right now?
I'm going to get to that shortly.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Last time.
There, you're good. So this is open work orders, Mr. Chase. Your next slide. So that was why. This is why it's very important to understand the future of where we're going with maintenance. And this slide here, I worked very diligently on, because when you look at 980 work orders, I want you to look at the percentage of 3 areas: digging off-road, digging on-road, and sinkholes. If we remember when we last reported, guys, it was in the first quarter. I don't think I did any more reports this year. We were well over 200 sinkhole work orders. That number's down to 89. The average sinkhole out here takes us 1 to 2 weeks to repair. In 1 to 2 weeks, I get 20 work orders. I'm averaging 6 work orders a day if you do the math. So that's why you see the 980, but you also see the off-road and on-road. Off-road has its challenges, which is your servitudes, your entries, your private properties, a lot of things in the past that we're fixing today. We may not get to it before, when somebody wants to, but we have to make sure it's legal to get on there. And what that ensures, it ensures that next year, the year after, and the next administration and all these guys that come behind us, when they're ready to mobilize and go hit these ditches and maintenance them, they can do it. And we just don't have that ability on all of them right now. But that's what we're working diligently for, and that's why you see some of this. Now, some of these off-road drainage and these on-roads, this is something that the citizens, I would like them to understand. When that work order is put in for one home, that work order can affect that entire street. It's not about digging just in front of your house. So when we're assessing this from the outfall to possibly the next crossover, anywhere. This could be 600-700 feet. This could be an entire neighborhood, a whole stretch. And I'll show you a little bit about how this works in a maintenance mode in a minute. But this gives you a better idea where the volume and numbers of those work orders come from, and it brings great understanding. So in that volume of work orders, I broke it back down by year again because we're trying to butcher some of these away. So 22, you have 83 that's still open, 177 in 23, 309 in 24, 411 in 25. So remember what I just told y'all. How many did we finish in 25? 800. You still have 411 that was entered in 25. That's what I was telling you. You're talking 1,100 work orders. So if you go back and you watch the reports from our last 3 years, we've been 1 year behind for 3 years. Hurricanes, you know, we can use all the excuses we want, but it is averaging all 3 years. Pulled reports back all the way to 22, which is pretty accurate. 1,000 work orders a year is what we're completing. So we're remaining very consistent. Can we get better? Absolutely. Absolutely we can. But we have to be very strategic about it. So this goes back to where I'm talking about being strategic in your maintenance. This is a tool that really came into play today after we got our work order system really refined, and we're very close to being happy with it. If you go and you find your area and you see 19, 20, 30 work orders in there, what's the common denominator in those work orders? How can we knock out 20 work orders in one area? Sometimes those 20 are all associated with one problem. So that is our major push for next year on these large work orders. What is the major focus that's going to knock out 20, 30, or 40 in that one area at one time to bring those numbers down and create that flow? In between that, when we look at that, if we can't dig that channel but we have a small issue with it, we'll go in there, fix the small issue, we'll put it on the list for maintenance. So that's the bigger push that I would like. If administration would have a different idea, but at the moment, that is kind of what I would be introducing to them. But the map gives you that idea. And as we blow this map up, some of you have come to the office, but you can blow that map and it starts isolated even deeper into that area. So you can really identify a pocket that may have a consistent issue that we could solve. And it knocks out a lot of work orders in one shot. And it allows you to build your maintenance program when you're doing it that way. So last but not least, just a little short clip on vegetation. I took this same approach with vegetation, guys, this year. Our assistant director of vegetation has only been with us for 6 months. We worked with him for 6 months. We took this approach. We gained back a very good employee that we had lost for about a year. That was very knowledgeable. Brought him in, took this approach the last 6 months of the year. And when we started the year, I told these guys, it's going to be rough, it's going to be tough, and a lot of people are not going to like us. When you put a work order in as a resident, we have to understand we cannot get off a rotation. We cannot go put fires out. We have to stay on rotation. You serve the parish better as a whole when you stay on rotation. It proved it right here. We have 77 off-road work orders right now. We did 3 rotations this year. We did 3 rotations on the state, and identifying some of our cleanup for our Lamar Dixon events that we've had, some of our holiday cleanup. We have had no complaints. We've had a lot of feedback from our residents. They're calling in now. They're emailing us, telling us we're doing a good job. This is the approach that I envision drainage in the future, but look, it doesn't happen overnight. So, but I'm very proud of these guys. This here, I have to work with the data a little bit better. That's over 2,000 work orders closed out in 2025. The reason there's 2,022 work orders closed out in 25 goes back exactly what I was saying. If all of you guys put a work order in on your street to cut grass and it's in a rotation, that work order is getting closed out and getting referenced in a rotation, which builds them numbers way out, and it's going to go to the work complete. So that's just an honest way to do it. But it allows all of you to get the job at one time and get it in an efficient manner. So that is why, if you pulled this report on a completion, I didn't put it in here because it's not a great number. You have to understand rotational maintenance. But it tells you how much we're being asked to do individualized work, when if you perform it as maintenance, you can do so much better. Does that make sense? And just a little shot of day-to-day work, the picture of the drainage. I just wanted to give an idea of what we do. We don't just dig ditches. It takes a little longer to do some of this work. Some of this is laying pipe in, replacing driveways, catch basins, stuff like this. This is a really nice, clean job here. And I always like to mention one of my employees here that does great work, Mr. Benny Bourgeois. It's not a great photo of him, but you see him out there with a 20-foot pole saw. This guy and his team has done some great work through the holiday season. They've went over and above. You can see him out here. What he's doing is creating safety for our first responders and our school buses out here. And this is one of the things that we offer at Public Works. But thanks to Mr. Benny, that crew there, they really knock some work hours out, and they create us safe, and that's who keeps our trees trimmed. But just want to thank him for that. So 2025 summary, we had 11 recorded pumping events. 7 of those events included using tractor pumps. We had 65 after-hour call-outs. We had 1,183 drainage work orders closed. Entering into 2026, we have 980 work orders to isolate. Vegetation closed out 2,060, and entering into 2026, they're starting with 77, which is off-road, which is up to date. That is what we do in the winter. We catch as much off-road as we can while the grounds are dry. And that concludes my report. I want to thank all my employees for their commitment, their strong work ethic. This was actually really a great year. And we look forward to next year getting even better and teaming up with you guys to support us. I think we can do great things.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
And I appreciate you, Jay. I know from the first time we talked about compiling all this to where we can kind of give an idea of the sheer mass that maybe some folks don't know, or residents and even some committee members here, of what you guys have to do and the rate at which you have to work to keep up. One question I do have, and we talked about it too, is, oftentimes when somebody puts a work order in for vegetation or for drainage, and it's a vegetation work order, we had some issues with that changing over. Is there a procedure in place for that now, where a guy goes out and he goes, well, this isn't vegetation, this is drainage? Are they communicating to reopen that work order as a drainage work order?
So it's funny you say that. That was probably my number one thing I did this week. We actually took between yesterday and today and converted 300 work orders that were not going to the right place. Of those 300, we found where a lot of the work had been done. Not all of the work, but most of the work. Probably 65% of that work had been done. But it also goes back to pulling your report. When I pull that report, I cannot give you an accurate idea of the type of work we do. So we had our supervisors sit in. We've been doing this for over a month, and Clint had asked for this to really get streamlined with it. And this was the last thing that I really found. So we sat all our supervisors down midday yesterday to midday today, and we reviewed every work order and put it in every category, whether it was pumping, cutting, drainage. And then we have a list also now that we're going to turn over to, obviously, Mr. Jarius and say, hey, these are the things we're seeing double. This is what we need cleaned up, because we really liked, I'd like y'all's feedback a little later. Think about it. Don't give it to me tonight. How do you like this type of reporting? I enjoyed this. It enlightened me on a lot of things that can be pulled in a single day that helps you run your organization. And some of the notes that I made with some adjustments to our current system right now until we get better in the future with different stuff, I think I could give you this almost at the click of a button. It brought a lot of light doing this little project.
Good deal. Mr.
Yeah.
Vornado, you got something?
Yeah, I just want to thank y'all for the stuff y'all done specifically across the whole parish, of course, but the stuff, we've got some stuff going on in District 5 and some, Ron and them and with some residents that I think we just took care of. Pretty complex stuff over there in our district, so I just want to tell y'all I appreciate it and especially your staff and what you guys are doing. So keep rolling. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Oh, Mr. Cullen?
Yeah. Jay, you were talking about the bridge debris. When are you gonna start that?
So bridge debris is started this year as far as a formal, what I was talking about was a work order system.
Okay.
We've always
So you gotta
reviewed-
report that if there's,
No, sir. We have an inspector now that inspects for bridge debris. So it's actually twofold. Our waterway department, as they're inspecting the channel for fallen trees or any type of waterway instructions, they inspect it. Then we also have a secondary bridge debris inspection, and it gives us an idea. Now, in between that, we'd love to see that work order. We don't want that tree in there if it's
Right.
gonna, cause an issue. But, for.
So
a
y'all
ma-
probably
for-
gonna start on New River then, right?
Right behind your house.
I kinda figured that, man. I've been losing bait on them trees back there.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that. Thank y'all for what y'all do.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Also, guys, I have a little bit of an update from Hartman Engineering on the Holy Rosary project. Get us up to speed, Mr. Monkler.
Good evening, board members. Okay, Holy Rosary Bulkhead, as you recall, we came to you last time for a change order, and that entailed, we had some slope stability issues, we had some groundwater pumping, and so this change order, what we did, we excavated on the backside, just kind of a refresher. We installed some geofoam, which is lighting up the backside. We installed some wick drains to the sheet pile, and we removed and reinstalled the sheet pile, put some steel whalers on the backside with steel soldier piles, spaced at every 10 foot. So we do encourage you guys to go look at it because it is a difficult project. But so the contractor, as far as timeline, was supposed to be complete on Monday, but he does have some rain days and holidays, so that is pushed back to next Wednesday is his actual substantial completion. We feel that, I mean, he's 95% complete, so he's got a little bit of welding to do and some dress-up work on the backside. But the wall's holding, it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Y'all had to pull all those sheets or just every so often?
No, it was sections. It wasn't every one. But I was out there today and the wick drains are working. I mean, there's constant water flow coming from the cemetery. Even on since it's been dry, I mean, there's a steady water flow.
You got a water line under there.
Yeah, we don't know where it's coming from, but that definitely, was part of the issue that we were having. So that's just a quick update. We're hoping that they're gonna be finished by Wednesday, but, so in January, we're probably gonna come back to you guys to, to do the final balance and change order, which is just whatever items we didn't use and bill out, and it's just a balance of the change order, but I encourage you guys to go take a look at it.
I look at it every Sunday.
Every Sunday, yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Sure. So just so the council knows, we have these issues with bulkheads across the parish, especially on Beco, the one where we just purchased a mobile home because of the failure. This is a model that you probably want to use in the future on how this is constructed, so it's important that you go look at it. Listen, I don't like being in the bulkhead business, period. I don't like building them because they don't keep people from flooding it as a structural integrity for shoreline. But in this circumstance, special circumstances, this is how a bulkhead needs to be built in the future. And we need to demand that up front. And we need to know the cost. We need to know how it needs to be done. Fingers crossed and knock on wood, this one should last. And this prevents the Beco situation with the failures that we're going to have to continuously spend a ton of money on in the future. So if you get an opportunity, go take a look at it, because this is what we need to demand in the future, even though I hope we don't build a lot of these because they're very expensive. I'd rather do pump stations and detention ponds and things of those nature that prevent flooding. But very important, if we got to do one in the future, this is what it needs to look like. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? No questions. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Cullen, second, Mr. Malonson. We are adjourned.